All right, let's dive right in. We're looking at a comparison today that has really set the photography forums on fire. The Canon R7 versus the R8.
It's a fascinating one. They came out only 9 months apart. They share the same RF mount, but
Yeah,
I mean, they couldn't be more different in their core philosophy.
exactly. And that's our mission for this deep dive. It's not about which one has the better spec sheet on paper. It's about matching the camera's philosophy to how you actually shoot in the real world.
Yeah, and the research we've pulled really lays it out. The R8 it's the full frame minimalist. It's all
Yeah.
about that sensor size, sometimes at the expense of, well, almost everything else.
And the R7 is the complete opposite. It's the workhorse. It's packed with features. It prioritizes reach. It prioritizes professional reliability, all built around that APS-C sensor.
It's basically saying, I'm a complete tool for the job, sensor size be damned.
Okay, so let's start right there with the sensor, the foundation of everything. The R8's big selling point is that 24 megapixel full frame sensor. Why is that such a huge deal?
It's all about the physics of light. You can think of the pixels on a sensor like little buckets for collecting light.
Okay.
The R8's buckets are just massive, over 2.5 times bigger than it was on the R7.
Wow.
And bigger buckets mean they gather more light more efficiently. That gives you better dynamic range and, crucially, much cleaner images when you have to push the ISO up in the dark.
Right, and that's where you see those incredible specs. Native ISO on the R8 goes up to, what, 102,400?
And it's expandable from there. I mean, you're talking about shooting confidently in places you just couldn't before. A dimly lit wedding reception, an indoor arena, places where you have zero control over the light. That's the R8's superpower.
It's one singular massive strength. But then we pivot to the R7, the resolution specialist. It has a smaller sensor, sure, but it packs in 33 megapixels.
37% more pixels, to be exact.
Huh.
And this is where it gets really interesting for anyone shooting subjects that are far away.
You're talking about the crop factor,
Yeah.
the free telephoto extension.
Exactly. That 1.6x crop factor is a game changer. You take a normal 100, 400 millimeter lens, you put it on the R7, and suddenly you have the reach of a 160, 640 millimeter lens.
I mean, people pay thousands and thousands of dollars for that kind of reach in a full frame lens.
They absolutely do. And beyond just the reach, having all those extra pixels gives you so much freedom in editing. You can crop in like crazy and still have a high quality printable file. If you're shooting birds or sports, that's your safety net.
So it's a clear split. The R8 is about light quality, the R7 is about reach and flexibility. But I think the decision gets even clearer when we talk about the operational side of things, the deal breaker.
Oh yeah, let's start with stabilization. This is a huge one.
A huge one. The R7 has 7 stops of in-body image stabilization, or IBIS. And this isn't just a minor feature, it fundamentally changes how you can shoot handheld.
Let's just put that in perspective.
Yeah.
Normally with a 200 millimeter lens, you'd need a shutter speed of like 1/1200th of a second,
Right,
the reciprocal rule.
right, to avoid camera shake.
With 7 stops of IBIS, you can theoretically shoot that same lens handheld at half a second and get a sharp image.
That's insane. That's insane. You could leave your tripod at home for landscape shots at sunset. You can shoot smooth video without needing a whole gimbal rig.
It's a massive, massive advantage. And the R8,
It has nothing, no IBIS at all.
gone. It's purely a cost-cutting measure to get that full-frame sensor into that price point. So you're left relying entirely on lens stabilization or just cranking the shutter speed in ISO.
Which brings up a hidden cost, right? If you want stabilization on the R8, you have to buy the more expensive premium lenses that have it built in.
Exactly. The low price of the body is a bit of a mirage. The total system cost starts climbing very quickly.
And that leads right into the next big constraint.
Wow.
Actually being able to use the camera for more than an hour.
Yeah, this one it's
Yeah.
pretty stark. The R7 is rated for 660 shots on a single battery. That's a CPO rating, which is usually pretty conservative.
So that's a real-world all-day battery. You can go out for a full day of shooting and not really worry about it.
You can just focus on shooting. Now, the R8,
290 shots.
I mean, it's almost a joke. For a camera that's supposed to deliver this incredible image quality, what's the point if the battery's dead before you get the shot?
Our sources were saying a wedding photographer would need, 4 or 5 batteries just to get through the day?
Yeah. Minimum. So you're not just buying a cheaper camera body. You immediately have to budget another $200 or $300 just for enough batteries to make it usable. Plus the mental load of constantly checking your power and swapping them out.
Missing the shot because you're changing a battery that completely defeats the purpose of having a better sensor.
It really does. And the risk management doesn't stop there. Let's talk about storage.
Redundancy versus potential catastrophe.
This is non-negotiable for anyone doing paid work. The R7 has dual card slots, fast ones, UHS-T and 2. You can have it write the same files to both cards at once.
So if a card fails, which they do,
You're covered. Your images are safe on the second card. It's insurance. It's peace of mind. Losing a client's wedding photos is a career-ending mistake.
So then, hang on, why would Canon put a single card slot in the R8? If it's all about that professional quality image, why introduce such a massive professional risk?
It's that same story again. Cost and positioning. They're telling you, with that decision, that this is an enthusiast camera. A great one, but not one designed for mission-critical work where failure is not an option. You, the photographer, are assuming all the risk.
That philosophy seems to carry over into just how the cameras feel in your hand, too.
Absolutely. The R8 is tiny and light, just 461 grams. It's great for travel, for being discreet, but the trade-off is a pretty small grip and controls that feel a bit cramped, especially after a long day.
Whereas the R7 is beefier. 612 grams, it has that deep, substantial grip that feels so much better when you have a big, heavy lens on the front.
It's just more comfortable for extended use. And it has little professional touches, like the shutter that closes when you turn the camera off to protect the sensor from dust. The R8 doesn't have that.
Okay, let's get into the performance details. Autofocus, shutter speeds.
So the R8 does have an edge here in one specific area, extreme low light. That full-frame sensor just helps the AF system see better in the dark. It also has that crazy 40 frames per second electronic shutter burst.
Which is great for capturing that one perfect moment of peak action.
Right. But the R7 really dominates when you're talking about the mechanical shutter. Its top speed is 18,000th of a second. The R8 tops out at 14,000th.
And why does that matter?
It matters a lot if you're shooting outside in bright sun with a fast lens, like an f1.2 or f1.8. To get that beautiful blurry background, you need to shoot wide open. But in bright sun, 14,000 might not be fast enough to avoid overexposing the shot. You need to add a filter. With the R7's 18,000th, you keep shooting.
And the R7 is faster in continuous shooting with that mechanical shutter too, right?
Yeah, 15 frames per second versus the R8's 6. It just gives you more versatility and less risk of that weird rolling shutter distortion you can get with the electronic shutter on fast-moving subjects.
Okay, and for video, they seem to share a lot of the same core features.
They do. 4K, Canon log, the flip-out screen. They're both very capable.
Yeah.
The R8 does have a couple of pro software tricks, though.
Like the lens breathing correction.
Yeah, which is a really nice high-end feature. It stops the frame from seeming to zoom in and out as you change focus. It also shoots slightly faster slow motion, 180 frames per second, versus the R7's 120.
But again, the R7 wins on the practical operational side.
100%. That 7-stop IBIS for smooth handheld footage is it's transformative for a solo creator. And the battery life means you can actually record for long periods without interruption.
So let's tie this all together. Let's put these cameras in the hands of specific photographers. This is where it all clicks.
Okay, so if you're a wildlife or a nature photographer, it's a no-brainer.
It has to be the R7.
Has to be. The crop factor for reach, the IBS for stabilizing those long lenses, the battery to stay out in the field all day. It's not even a contest.
All right, what about a travel photographer? Someone who values portability above all else.
There, the R8 has the clear advantage. It's 150 grams lighter. That's a noticeable difference when it's in a bag on your back all day. Just, pack 3 or 4 extra batteries.
And street photography.
The research actually gives a huge edge to the R7. The IBS is perfect for those spontaneous, low-light, handheld shots. The battery means you can wander all day. It's just a more reliable tool for capturing unexpected moments.
Okay, the big one, weddings and events. This one feels a little more complicated.
It is. It's a real head versus heart decision. The R8 will give you slightly cleaner images in that dark reception hall. That's the heart.
But the head says the R7 wins on pure reliability. Dual card slots mean you don't lose the photos. The battery means you don't miss the cake cutting. That's a huge reduction in professional risk.
You really have to ask yourself if that small bump in image quality is worth sacrificing the operational guarantees.
Which brings us to the final point, the actual cost, not just the price on the sticker.
Right. The R8 looks like a bargain at around $1,100. It's your gateway to full frame, but it's not the whole story.
You immediately need to add a few $100s for batteries, and then you're pushed into buying more expensive full-frame RF lenses. That usable system cost is closer to $1,800. easily.
Whereas the R7, at around $1,500, feels more like a destination camera. The higher price includes the IBS, the better battery, the dual slots, features that are built in, not expensive add-ons. You get a complete professional package from day one.
So the final scores in the data are basically a tie. R7 at 73, R8 at 72. But the numbers don't tell the story.
Not at all. They're tied because they're for completely different people. You choose the R8 if that full-frame look in low light is the only thing that matters and you're willing to work around all its limitations.
And you choose the R7 if you need a reliable, versatile workhorse that can handle anything you throw at it. From fast action and long telephoto shots to professional paid gigs where failure is not an option.
So the final question for you, listening to this, is to be really honest with yourself. Are you buying a camera for the photography you actually do week in and week out? Or the photography you aspire to do someday?
And that's the key insight. The wrong choice isn't the R7 or the R8. The wrong choice is buying based on a spec sheet without first understanding your own real-world needs. Know yourself as a photographer, and the right camera becomes obvious.